Let's look at former Pullman Police Chief Jake Opgenorth through the 9-year lens of his statements on Tyler Hansen, Samuel Martinez, an unknown masked intruder, and Brent Kopacka. Finally, we will examine his own legal troubles involving sexual assault and harassment.
Another case of alleged sexual assault on a local college campus, this time at Washington State University. But this case has investigators and even the judge scratching their heads. KXLY4's Katie Curry spent the day in Pullman and explains what makes this case so unusual.
Police say the rape happened here in the College Hill neighborhood. They say a rape like this is uncommon, but someone just walking into a stranger's home is not, especially after a night of drinking. For instance, to my left, there's a door wide open. To my right, a window is wide open. It's your typical college neighborhood. What started as a trip to visit friends in Pullman ended with 19-year-old Tyler Hansen arrested, potentially facing 2 felonies, first-degree burglary, second-degree rape. According to Pullman police, Hansen, who is not a WSU student, walked into an unlocked home on College Hill early Saturday morning. A 22-year-old WSU student was home alone, asleep in bed.
She woke up to who she thought was her boyfriend coming home, and they started having sex.
Detective Sergeant Jake Opgenorth says shortly thereafter her boyfriend arrived home.
And that's when she realized this man was not her boyfriend.
Police say the boyfriend assaulted Hansen. Hansen then took off running, leaving behind his wallet and phone. Police found him heavily intoxicated and wearing only a blanket a few blocks away. Police now have a message for all college students. Lock your doors.
Especially on game days when there's a lot of people from out of town coming to town. They drink too much and they unfortunately walk into the wrong house, mistakenly thinking that's where they're staying.
Hansen made his first court appearance today where he told the judge he is attending his first year of college at Columbia Basin University. He was released without bail and has not been charged with anything yet. The judge said in court today there seems to be 2 sides to this story. The investigation is ongoing this evening as police work to gather all of the details into what exactly happened that night.
He really did put others first, and he is one of the sweetest people anyone could ever meet.
Police suspect alcohol was a factor, but are trying to figure out whether it was tied to hazing that night, something investigators initially downplayed.
We don't have any reason to believe that this was a hazing incident, but like I said, we wouldn't be doing our job if we didn't look at that as a potential, just because everything we have been hearing in the news, and it does happen.
Since then, Police Chief Gary Jenkins says they've conducted several more interviews with people who were present or witnessed the events leading up to Martinez's death.
Pullman PD responded to a call of an intruder 2 weeks ago, and we are just now finding out more. Our reporter Aspen has the details.
I'm here on the corner of Ash Street where on October 10th, Pullman PD received a call from a woman just after 3:30 a.m. with an interesting and concerning complaint. Pullman PD Operations Officer Jake Opgenorth tells us more now.
A woman reported that she woke up seeing a man standing over her, holding a knife and wearing a burgundy ski mask. She kicked out at him and was able to kick him back, at which point he fled.
Now, this is an ongoing case. Opgenorth said detectives were able to get a warrant to search a possible subject's home. No evidence was found. We will continue to update you on this case.
All right, are we ready?
Yes.
Okay.
You guys ready? Yep.
All right, thank you. So on December 14th, 2022, at about 8:37 p.m., our officers were dispatched to the 1000 block of Latah Street for a weapon offense. Officers learned a male in his 30s was threatening to kill his roommates. The roommates were evacuated from the apartment, and police officers attempted to speak with that male, who barricaded himself inside of his apartment. Pullman PD crisis negotiators and the Whitman County Regional SWAT team responded. The suspect began firing from his apartment. The area was evacuated. After unsuccessful negotiations, his escalating behavior and a continued danger to the public and others, the male was shot by a member of the Whitman County Regional SWAT team. The suspect was found deceased when the Whitman County Regional SWAT team cleared the apartment. On behalf of the Whitman County Regional SWAT Team, Pullman PD has requested assistance of the Washington State Patrol to investigate the officer-involved shooting. Further information will be released by the Washington State Patrol. Per RCW 43102, this investigation must be completely independent of the agency whose officer was involved in the use of deadly force. The Whitman County Regional SWAT Team is made up of officers from the Whitman County Sheriff's Office, Pullman Police Department, and the WSU Police Department. Thank you.
All right. Do you have follow-up questions now?
I don't really have anything more I can give you at this time.
Or I just mean, like to some things that I heard, but I want to make sure it's right. Like from
Okay.
what you said. What was the block number for the apartment?
In the 1000 block of Latah.
1000 block of Latah. Okay. And you said it was a man in his 30s threatening to kill his roommate?
Yes.
Okay.
Did his roommates get out?
Yes.
Do you know when that call came in?
8:37.
Has that officer been put on administrative leave?
Right now we're in the very beginning stages of this investigation, and Washington State Patrol will be conducting that investigation.
Do we know the status of the roommates yet? Or how many there were?
There were 2 roommates that were evacuated and they're fine.
Was that before or after the firing started?
Before.
Okay. Before firing.
Do we know who the initial call came from?
No. All right. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Jake.
Yep. Everybody come get their wires.
Are they going to be, this scene going to be,
What do you want?
active for a while?
Yes.
And 2 weeks after placing him on leave, the city of Pullman finally confirmed the status of its police chief. This all started when the city was informed of allegations against Chief Jake Opgenorth. Those allegations are being investigated by the Washington State Patrol. Opgenorth was also served a protection order from a woman with whom he had a previous relationship. She requested the protection order over concerns of domestic violence and sexual assault. When asked earlier this week to confirm if the chief was on leave, Pullman Mayor Francis Benjamin directed 4 News Now to an attorney who has yet to return our calls for comment. But the mayor released a statement today reading, "We are fully committed to cooperating with the investigation, and while we are dedicated to maintaining transparency, we must also respect the integrity of the investigative and judicial processes and cannot comment further at this point."
Former Pullman Police Chief Jake Opgenorth is back in court for a protection order accusing him of sexual assault and harassment. Opgenorth is also under investigation by the Washington State Patrol. Opgenorth's attorney is requesting 6,000 pages of messages between Opgenorth and his accuser that date back to February of 2021. Opgenorth was placed on leave by the Pullman Police Department on December 17th. Pullman Police Commander Aaron Brashears is filling in as the active chief of police. Opgenorth is scheduled to be back in court for the protection order on February 26th.